Hi everyone, welcome to another Journalist Toolbox training. My name is Mike Reilley, the founder and editor of Journalist Toolbox. You can find our resources at journalisttoolbox.ai. It's a journalist plural. In there you will find links to various AI tools that are useful for reporters and editors, broken down by these categories. Very easy to use. You just open up the pages, go in, there are links to the tools are in there with the short descriptions. I also have some training videos in here. They're usually about 5 to 15 minutes long. They're fairly short and typically have an exercise in them. You're watching one of those training videos right now. The right-hand rail here has a link to all the training videos on our YouTube channel, which is free, and also a link to our Substack newsletter, which comes out every other Tuesday. It is also free. Usually debuts around 8 a.m. Eastern Time. It usually focuses on one tool or a set of tools that do a certain task. And you can get through it in about 4 or 5 minutes. Usually has a training video embedded into it as well. So it's a quick read. The YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to for free right here, has more than 110 videos on it. Everything from AI tools to editing video and audio on your phone, data journalism tools, and so on. So take advantage of those free resources on that site because they're very, very useful. Today we're going to use a tool that's listed on our data tools page, which is right here. It's a tool called Flourish. It's owned by Canva. It used to be owned by Google. And it was developed by a company called Kiln, K-I-L-N, over in London. If you have a free account set up on Flourish, Flourish.studio is the tool you go to. You can set it up with your Google credentials. It does have a paid version, but we're going to use the free version. It has most of the templates that you will need to use to create some great interactive graphics like this one. This is a U.S. presidential approval ratings chart from the end of these past presidents' terms. We have Biden in here. His is as of April 22nd, 2024. As you can see, we hover over them. You can see the approval and disapproval ratings, and then the no opinions. This is based off of a Gallup study. So you will build that chart, and we'll also show you how to build a gauge chart as well. This is similar data. This is just the last 4 presidents, and you can see the little gauge chart here that goes, on the various approval, disapproval, or no opinion. You can select those from the gauge chart pull-down menu right up here. So really cool little chart here. So the data we're going to pull from this is linked off of our handout, which is this bit.ly link, bit.ly/electchart. So go ahead and hit the pause menu and open up this handout and log in to the Flourish account. All right, welcome back. By now you should have this handout open and also have the Flourish.studio account open and ready to go. To start working in Flourish, go into New Visualization. And here lists all of the charts that you would use for building a graphic. And there's all kinds of line charts, bar charts, real basic stuff up at the top. Down here you get into projection maps. We've got some training videos up on how to build those. Bar chart races, which are animated charts. We've done those as well. So if you're measuring something over time, it works really well. Some election charts down here, just real basic ones. Project management charts, which are pretty cool, and timeline charts. Our gauge chart is down here, which we're going to use in a little bit. Animated line chart, and so on and so on and so on. So you have a lot of different templates here. Database search, if you have a large data set and you want to make it searchable, that's a good one to select. A lot of really good free templates here to work with. So we're going to scroll back up here to the top. There's several different types of charts you can build here. Column chart proportional, or bar chart proportional, which is horizontal, a stacked bar chart, which is what we're going to do here, We could filter these, but it's only 6 or 7 presidents. So if we had several of them, we probably would need something that we could filter with and select from a pull down menu or search. But we're just going to do bar chart stacked, which is this one on the far left in the second row. As with any Flourish tool, it comes with dummy data in it. This is some data on fossil fuels. And as you hover over it, you can see the different data here. You can go to the data tab up here at the top, and it lists that dummy data in here, which is nice because you can see how the data is formatted to work with this chart. So then, hey, if I want to use this data, I need to be able to format it in this format to get it to work right away without having to do a lot of editing to it. So go ahead and go into our exercise sheet. We're going to start with this election horizontal stack bar chart. You've got a link here to a spreadsheet you can download. I've also given you header and footer information that you can put in. And we'll walk you through all those steps. So go ahead and open up this spreadsheet, and you can download it by going down here to the down here at the bottom. I want to show you have 2 tabs. The last 4 presidents, and then we're going to use the Truman one, where it goes all the way back to Harry S. Truman. So that's the tab we're going to use. You can download it by going to File, Download. You can also make a copy of it if you want to save it in a folder and use it as a Google, just as a Google sheet and link to it out of there. That's fine as well. But I just downloaded this. It's got a Z at the end of it, so it should be at the bottom of your folder, wherever you download folder or desktop, wherever you download to. And to import that data set, you just hit upload data here. Make sure you're in the data tab so you see the data here. Hit upload data and go find your data set, and it'll overwrite the data that's already in there. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. It's going to ask me which spreadsheet do I want to use. I'm going to select Truman because I'm going to do the horizontal bar chart going all the way back to Harry S. Truman. And just hit import. It'll keep asking you a few questions and upload it all 40 rows here. And here's everything. Okay, we've got labels and time. That's what we want to label first. So we put an A in for that. And then values, we want to go B, C, and D. So we want to do B-D. Okay. And our bar chart begins to take shape. We can hit the preview button over here. And I've got some kind of funky colors in here, this purple and pink. Not really good for a presidential chart. So you can adjust that by going into the colors tab here, going down and hit edit color palette. And you can adjust the colors that you want to use. So if you want to do blue and red and yellow maybe, those might be good colors to select here. And you can just slide them around and come up with the chart you want. Okay, not the best blue. I could probably go in here and find another panel that maybe has a little better color selection here. And let me see if I can find one. I don't want pastels. Let's go legacy colors, and then I can rearrange these and come up with a little better color palette. And there we go. So you can play around with those colors. The color palette you can have a lot of fun with. You can also do custom overrides where I could type in Joe Biden and then put a hexadecimal code after it. If I wanted a specific color, it'll recognize all those hexadecimal colors. Something that they've added into Flourish about a year ago. So it makes it really, really useful. I'm going to put in a header and footer on my graphic. It's very important to have that on there. And I've given you that content right here. I've given you the headline and then the readout text underneath, which is just a little footnote about Biden. Now, whenever I'm labeling my headline or putting my title on it, I always put it up here in the description because that's my working title. And then also down here where it says title under header. It won't show up right away. You actually have to click off onto another box before it shows up. But that's okay. I'll drop this down into text. You could also do subtitles if you want, but for this one, we just have a title and then the text. It's very important to have those so people can understand your graphic very quickly. My source, which is under the footer, go to source name. I'm going to call it Gallup. These are Gallup approval ratings for past presidents, and really nice visual way to do this. I've got a link to their election center, which has all this data in it. Drop it into the source URL, and then go down to the note where I'm going to drop in graphic, and whatever your style is, graphic by, or I just do graphic slash, and that's the style I use. And I made it flush right. I'm going to take it up in size a little bit. The default font size on this is pretty small, so I make it a little bit bigger. Might note too that Dwight Eisenhower's name it kind of runs off here. I can go in and change that font size a little bit on the y-axis if I wanted to, or on labels. I also can go into the original data set. I think if I just cut out the D in Dwight D. Eisenhower, the name should fit, because it actually got cut off. There we go. We'll see how it looks. Dwight Eisenhower. Okay, so it fits now. I could have shrunk down the font size too, but it actually cut it off in the data. So there we go. We've got our nice chart here. To export it, we go to export, and we're going to publish it. It'll ask us again if we want to publish it. Click yes. Now that it's green, you've got embed code here, JavaScript, AMP for mobile, or iframe. Excuse me. Got a link here, and this is what your graphic looks like out on the live web. Bingo. So you're able to take this now and build it into a web page, and you've got a cool little interactive chart. If you want to do it just for the last 4 presidents, you can. You just repeat these steps. Only use the other tab, which is just the last 4. All right, if you want to do the gauge chart, you select a different template, which is called the gauge chart. And you'll follow these steps down here. So I'll kind of walk you through them, and we'll set it up here. Once you're done with your chart here, you can click out of it. Auto saves it just like Google Maps, which is awesome. Just click on the little house in the upper left. It always takes you back home. And then go to new visualization again. And then we can go through and select what type of template we want to use. And if you go down to the lower right, these do move around a little bit. You can select the different types of gauge charts. There's a percentage one. We're going to do the grid. There's also a simple one. That's if you're just measuring, maybe one president's approval rating. But we're doing 4. So we're going to double click on grid and group of grid data, and click on the data. And we're going to upload our same spreadsheet again, only this time we're just going to select last 4. So go and find your data set again on your desktop or downloads folder, presidential approval rating gauge chart, and it should default to last 4. Hit continue and import, and hit continue. Okay, so this one's simple. It just asks for the name, which is the name of the candidate, and then the values again run B through D. Always double check these up here. ABC, this little button up here means it's a text column. These should all read as numbers. It usually recognizes the data in there, but if it doesn't, you'll have to click on this and select number as opposed to text. Sometimes it gets confused, but that's how you fix that problem if that's the case. You might notice now it's kind of funky looking. The dial meters are going every which way. You have to go in and do some settings with this. So our steps are right here. You go into the gauge flyout menu on the right side. So you click over on preview, and then you go over to here to the gauge menu, which should default open. If not, you can just hit the flyout and open it up. And you're going to go to these settings. You're going to go with the full meter, and then the half moon for the inner radius. So we'll go there and click on that. Defaults there. And there we go. Now it's starting to take shape. A couple other little settings in here to keep in mind. You want the range to be custom with a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 100. I set the opacity to 0.2. You can tinker with that if you want to. I think it defaults to that. Maximum should be 100 here. And then you hit return. Okay. So you've got your meter here. You got your pull down menu, which you can test out, if you want to look at disapproval, no opinion, and then approval. So it gives you all of those meters there. And you've got these all set up. Now you just have to add your header and footer, which is a little different than the one we just did. This is just last 4 presidential approval ratings. So you want to go in here, drop it up in the left corner, drop it under header, title. I'm going to center this one. And then my text underneath it, which I'll center. And then go to my footer, which source name is Gallup. Flush right, take it up a couple points. Source URL, which again is this Gallup link. And then you always want to put your credit at the very bottom. And then you're good to go. I'll take this up just a little bit more in size, so it's a little more readable. Remember too, with your header, if you want to change colors, you can hit the styling button here. I can make it, a little bigger in, font size. I can adjust the color if I want to make it pop a little bit and use something maybe that was blue. If you have a certain reason for doing that, feel free. You don't want to get too crazy with your color panels. Again, if you're ready to export, hit publish, and you're good to go. And you've now got your live graphic. Remember, again, you can always unpublish these and continue working on them. You've got multiple options for embeds, just like you did the other charts, JavaScript, AMP, and iframe. And you can go and take a look and see what it looks like on the live web. I always encourage this. Remember, you always have your little working headline up here. So that's why it's important to put the headline in both places on Flourish, in the upper left and also in the title under the header. So that's all we had for you. Keep in mind, this worksheet will help you work through these charts. Experiment with Flourish. It's a great graphics tool. It's been around for a long time now, about 8 years, going on 9. So take advantage of it. Hopefully it'll help you, with the election coming up. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video.